Now, this is a very, very exciting heat indeed. Northug is in there for Norway. We've got Devon Kershaw, who's having a sensational tour at the moment for Canada, lying in second place, only 45 seconds off the lead, all of which have come from bonus points that Colonia has won. So effectively, Kershaw is as quick as anyone on the tour. What can he do today? We've got Morolov of Russia, and the Russian sprinting has gone skyward over the last 2-3 seasons. That was Northug, number 14, Devon Kershaw. But don't forget Alexander Legkov, number 27, who's down the far end. Now, Northug, the sprint machine of last year, is losing his reputation.
Bib number 4, fourth fastest, though I think Northug, he's finding something of his former form coming back.
As we've seen, Mike, the tactics have to be right. Northug stays low for the early phase through that first 25 metres, and then the skating steps can start. Brilliant start from one of the Russians. I think it might be Nikolai Morolov who's got away best, but he's now joined by Alexander Legkov. Morolov with 7, Legkov with 27, and the two Russians out front. I think that might have been a tactical move. Look, they've slowed it right down.
This is so strange. They can't afford to keep any of these heats slow, Patrick, because it reduces the chances of the 3rd, 4th and 5th to cross the line.
Well, if you're confident that you're going to finish in the top 2, it's absolutely the right thing to do.
Are they going to roadblock it all the way? I doubt it, but maybe that is the strategy.
I think it is the strategy. It's not easy to get past, and this is well, it looks slow. The Russians do ski with a slightly slower tempo than many of the European teams.
Devon Kershaw, second last at the moment. He's a very intelligent sprinter. He needs to bring his race forward now.
He's looking for some space on the outside, but that outside track is not as quick as the prepared Spore, the track that has been cut. And the Russians know that.
I don't think we've ever seen a course as technically as easy as this, where we are only seeing it as a very, very tight 6 athletes together all the time.
Yeah, the design of the sprint courses needs very, very careful attention, doesn't it, Mike? If you have a course like this, you want a long finishing straight that gives those who've been blocked out in the early stages a chance to come through.
Yeah, there's just no way through. Look at Kukal. He can't. He's trying to get through. He can't. Devon Kershaw, he's got a little space in the middle, but you can easily trip up, and he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, I think Northug was looking for a way round, but Legkov was straight over to the far side to give him a bit of his own medicine and block him out. So it's still Russia 1 and 2.
And it's road blocking. I mean, they're not technically, there's no rules against this. The two at the front will generally not allow. But look at White, Northug's having to go to get past.
Yeah, Northug trying again. This could be the critical moment, because it looks like on the inside, Nikolai Morolov just got boxed out slightly, but because Legkov has drifted wide as well, there is still no room. Devon Kershaw can't do anything about it. There may well be 1 or 2 angry exchanges after this race, because there just is no way through. If there's one man, there's plenty of space, but with 2 blocking you out, there's no chance. Now, Kershaw tries another lane. He has to try something different, Mike. But again, that inside lane, the right-hand lane as we look at it, is slower, and Kershaw's made no ground up on the leaders whatsoever. Up goes the tempo. It's still Russia 1, Russia 2, but Northug goes the long way round for the 3rd time in this race, trying desperately to finish in the top 2.
So tactically difficult, this race. They're all within 0.4 of a second. Kershaw trying to come through on the inside.
Yeah, Kershaw took the right line, exited the corner very, very quickly indeed. Finally, Northug finds a way past the Russians, and now it's Norway leading. Kershaw coming strongly on the inside. Might well have got himself through. Kershaw gets the win. Northug in second. Morolov, Kukal and Legkov go out. Well, the Russians, they played it absolutely right to the last minute, Mike, but maybe they gave their game away too early on.
Maybe they did. What a slow qualifying time compared to the first heat, and that's how slow the Russian boys held it in the first 500.
Yeah, and in doing so, they've put themselves out of the competition. There is a photo finish there. We'll wait for confirmation, but I'm pretty sure that Devon Kershaw has made it. Great finish from Devon Kershaw, because he made 3 or 4 efforts to get through, but I think he then said there just is no way. The only possible chance is the finishing straight.
I love the way that Devon Kershaw kept so calm. He couldn't do anything within the first 1.2 kilometres, but he sorted it out in the last 100.
We've got Sweden, Canada, Norway, Italy and Austria all represented. Marcus Hellner, impressive in the qualifying, impressive in the quarterfinals.
Hellner's always impressive, isn't he?
And then for Canada, Devon Kershaw. big moment for him, because he lies second in the Tour de Ski standings, and if he gets through to the last 6, he will keep himself in contention for the overall win. Away they go.
Oh, there was hardly any holding time there. You have to be so ready for that gun to go. Interesting how this is going to pan out. Tritscher, well, he didn't lead this one out like he did last time, but I think he'll be wanting out on the base of the big climb. He'll be wanting in the first position by there.
I'm not sure he will. I think the athletes have an opportunity to see what's going on, and I think they'll be learning bit by bit the best of the tactics. And I think it's a bit like a distance race, Mike. You always want to be in the top 3, but you don't want to be in first position until the last 10 metres.
It's such a tough... and it unfolds. You can only really deal with this as it unfolds before you. But Østensen got into trouble further back the last heat that he took part in, but now he's wanting clear air at the front.
Yeah, beautifully smooth skier Østensen, leading the way over the top of the climb. Italy's David Hofer is well placed in 3rd. We've got Tritscher of Austria in 4, and then just Tritscher of Austria, sorry, in 2, and Petter Northug is way at the back of the pack at the moment. Marcus Hellner just using his glide well to move up into 2nd place, just on the shoulder of Simon Østensen.
Kershaw having to go wide there. He was comfortable enough. He couldn't do anything about his 6th position into the base of the hill, but he's looking good now.
Petter Northug dangerously positioned on the inside. We've seen 1 or 2 athletes getting boxed there. He doesn't want to be there on the final rounding of that corner. Hellner still looking smooth. Now he starts to up the tempo, up the little climb for the 2nd time. 1 more big climb to go.
It's such a fine balance on where do you put yourself, how do you attack it, but there's just simply no way through when you're in the middle of this pack. Devon Kershaw, 4th place.
Now, I was going to say, Mike, Østensen has led from the start, and as we mentioned earlier on, no one other than Petra Madic now has managed to lead and hold the lead.
No, this is a tight corner. Northug really reading that well, taking the inside line. He's read that beautifully well.
Up goes the tempo from Petter Northug, but the speed really doesn't change that much, and he's not pulled clear of Simon Østensen. 2nd place onto the final descent is the perfect one. Who's going to have that? Hellner could have the pole position at the moment. No, it's Petter Northug who goes first, and he is there to be shot at from Marcus Hellner, who's right behind him. Østensen in 3rd, trying to get up on the inside for Austria is Bernard Tritscher, and of course the Canadians with Devon Kershaw. Kershaw down in 6th at the moment. Place in the finals could be so good for his Tour de Ski chances.
Devon Kershaw once again taking the very intelligent line on the inside. You exit well in the final bend. Is it enough to get into the top 2?
Good acceleration from Devon Kershaw, but Petter Northug seems to have found a different gear this time round. It's Northug who leads down the home straight. Østensen can do nothing about it. There's no room to go through. Northug qualifies. I think Østensen gets the 2nd place, and Devon Kershaw with 2:59.6 on the clock has to wait and see whether he has done enough to go through. Well, 2:59.6.
Østensen came through, a cheeky move there. He changed lane with 7 metres to go, and it just blocked out Kershaw a little.
Justified, I think. Justified.
But you've got to do what you've got to do. There was no way past Northug in the same lane, so he had to cross left.
Yeah, I think maybe Devon Kershaw would have been advised to get a little bit closer to Østensen just to discourage that sort of a move. So there you see it. The 2 qualifiers, both from Norway. 2:59.2. How does that time impress you?
Not a great time, Patrick. The next heat, let me look. The next heat may well be a little quicker.
Yeah, it depends how confident Dario Colonia is and whether Colonia goes in front to control it. Now, let's focus on the men's final, the last 6, and look at the names in there. Northug and Colonia going head-to-head. The giant Jesper Modin is there alongside Marcus Hellner of Sweden, who certainly could do some damage, having got through as a lucky loser. Number 14 there, Devon Kershaw. A little bit fortunate to get through, Mike, but he will have learned from that semi-final.
He certainly will, and Devon, I think, will play the same strategy to keep it relaxed to begin with and try and come through in the very final 400 metres. Petter Northug, though, that's Østensen we've got in picture, but Petter, for me, is looking like he's almost back to where he was. I suggested 2 days ago that he might. I thought he might retire, but there's no chance of him retiring. He said he needs this to lift his form for the World Championships.
There's Marcus Hellner, a chance for him maybe to close the gap on Dario Colonia. Well, maybe the most exciting thing in this men's final is that the three leaders of the Tour de Ski have all made it through to the last six. A real testament to their all-round ability when it comes to cross-country skiing. There is the Tour leader, Dario Cologna. Sensational form at the moment. We saw it from him in 2009 when he won the overall World Cup. Petter Northug, last year's overall winner, coming back to form. And Jesper Modin, who will make this look easy, but do not be deceived. Now, Cologna, with more focus on his face, I think he realises he's got a race on his hands here. Away they go. What will the tactics be? Modin, Østensen, the two men who've been happy to lead all the way through the race so far. Good start from Petter Northug. Dario Cologna just drops back to the back of the pack. He will play this one coolly, as always.
Yes, definitely. And Petter Northug, huge intent there from the line. He put his usual turbo power skate on straight away, but he wanted first position, but he's decided to drop back to third at the moment. Devon Kershaw, as maybe predicted, to just not get into any trouble early on. And Northug, next time round, I think he'll cut that corner so tight to come in on the inside as we look on the right side.
Well, just in case you've just joined us, let's identify the skiers we've got leading the way. For Sweden is Marcus Hellner, lying in third in the Tour de Ski. Second place at the moment, number 11, Simon Østensen, who'll be quite happy to go into first place. Third place, Petter Northug in the red for Norway, just ahead of, is it Jesper Modin? It is Jesper Modin. Devon Kershaw in fifth, Mike, and the Tour leader, Dario Cologna, back in sixth. Now, has he decided that he's done enough and he'll just cruise this final and save some energy for tomorrow?
Do you know, that's a very interesting point. He would gain 42 seconds as opposed to 60, so he'd lose, what, 18 seconds? I don't think so. I think he's designed to want to win this.
I think they're all competitive animals of the highest degree, and he'll be unable to resist the chance to win this one. Kershaw wearing 14. Good tactics from him so far. Up the penultimate climb, it's Marcus Hellner who's dropping back at the moment, and Petter Northug coming through. A look over his shoulder, he says, I do not want to see Dario Cologna there, but the Swiss skier right on the shoulder of Norway's best sprinter from last year.
This is such a fast pace from the gun, Patrick. I'm amazed. Devon Kershaw, what an amazing athlete. The Canadian team have just got it so together this year. And look at the advantage Kershaw has. This could be him setting himself up for a win so early on.
Can he maintain it? He certainly started early on the final climb and ignoring all the lactate in the legs. Petter Northug trying to get within 5 meters of Devon Kershaw, but Kershaw is 10 meters clear at the moment as they start the final descent.
Incredible, absolutely incredible performance there from Kershaw, but it's not over. Northug dragging Cologna through on the lower part of the hill.
Kershaw so often finishing as the runner-up. He was in the last sprint in Oberstdorf, of course, finishing second in the sprint there, and he finished second on the second day of the Tour de Ski, but he comes into the final straight with a lead of some 8-9 meters over Dario Cologna. Petter Northug trying to find that supercharged speed, but he's got 10 meters to make up on the Canadian. Dario Cologna still looking strong, switches to the right, and I think Cologna may just steal this one ahead of Devon Kershaw, or can the Canadian hold on? Photo finish for first. I think Devon Kershaw might finally have got himself a win on the World Cup. No man deserves it more. What great news for the Canadians. The last time they won a World Cup back in 1988 with Pierre Harvey. My goodness.
That was outstanding, outstanding performance from the Canadian Kershaw. I'm so happy for him. He's such a nice guy, and he deserves that. He played it so well.
So Kershaw gets the win, 2:58. Cologna in second, Northug in third, and Marcus Hellner keeps his hopes of claiming the Tour title this year very much alive, finishing fourth today. But the celebrations are all about the Canadian team and Devon Kershaw. Great shots, and what a day to remember. This is how close it was. Kershaw on the near side, Cologna just left himself too much to do up that final climb. Brilliant tactics. Petter Northug, Mike.
Still not quite there. He's half up.
And the Tour de Ski runs and runs and runs. Another 3 races to go. Tomorrow, it's the long distance race for the men. 35 kilometers freestyle, and they start according to their position in the Tour de Ski. So it will be Dario Cologna who sets off first.